All right, we are recording.
Okay, it is now 9:40 on April the 12th, and the SSDAC committee is hereby called to order. Jason, take it away.
You mean take roll?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and do roll. I keep forgetting we have to do verbal roll call now. Okay, do you want to call them out? Or I can.
Sure. Murphy?
Yes, sir.
Here.
Todd?
Here.
Cookies here.
We've got Mike as the host, Jason, myself with Development Services. Mike.
Oh, Mike Wagner, sign inspector.
And
Donna Mormon, planning and urban design.
Okay, we do have a quorum, so Jason.
Mike, can I share my screen?
There you go.
Can you screen share?
Okay, the first case or application is application number 220-314-0003. It's an application for a certificate of appropriateness by Gary McCleamy of Texas Sign Services for a 965 square foot of illuminated attached signs on the northwest elevation. The address for the site is 2425 Canton Street. This is located in the Farmers Market Sign District. PD number 357, Subdistrict 5A is the zoning. And this is the first of 4 applications for this site. These signs are to be located on the northwest elevation and are submitted as signs D and E. All are proposed to replace the previous tenant's signs. However, one sign from the previous tenant is to remain. This sign reads self-storage and is labeled as sign F. It was approved under CA number 1603110033 in May of 2016. Sign F is consistent with the construction type for the proposed signs on this elevation, and all the proposed signs for all applications at this site are of identical construction. These signs do meet all applicable code for the Farmers Market Sign District. A brief overview is all the sign elements are constructed entirely of metal, plastic, and LED lighting. Each 5-inch deep channel letter is proposed to have a white plastic face that will backlight the same color using white LED. The returns and trim cap for the website letters will be white. The returns and trim cap for the Simply Self-Storage letters and the logo will be blue. All the letters will be mounted on a metal 3-inch deep wireway painted to match the brick. The logo will have a white plastic face with yellow and blue translucent vinyl graphics that will illuminate the same yellow and blue colors at night using white LED. And the logo will mount flush against the facade. The overall projection of these signs will not exceed 8 inches. Here is an aerial map. You can see these signs are going to face Commerce as well as 345 as it kind of bends around there. And the zoning map. To the south here, we have the Camden sub-district for the farmers market, as well. Over here is also farmers market. To the southwest, and to the north is the Retail A sub-district within the downtown sign district, and across 345 it starts into the perimeter, and on the other side of 345 is the Deep Ellum sub-district. Here's a location map. You can see these signs are called out as F, which is going to be the one that remains from the previous tenant. And then we have D and E, which are the signs proposed for this application. Oh, there's also a breakdown of the overall square footage for each right-of-way facing facade At this location, there's 3 right-of-way facing facades, the northwest, the northeast, and the southeast. And it gives the cumulative area, they're allowed 10% of that area. And this is a cumulative allowance for all the signs on the site. Here is an elevation view with the new signs in place, along with the self-storage that remained from the previous tenant. And here's a side-by-side comparison as to what was there, since they are replacing the previous signs. Here's an elevation detail where they break down the size of each word. And here is a detail on the existing sign. You can see it's same construction, channel letters on a raceway. These are the details for the new signs. Here's an LED layout and a night view. And the detail on those 2 signs as well. You can see the logo mounts flush against the wall while those letters are on a raceway. And the engineering, there was I believe it was 20-some pages worth of engineering. I kind of pulled out the relevant stuff there for the presentation. Basically, they've got toggle bolts or a through bolt, both the engineer signed off on, and there's kind of the overview of how those are going to be attached.
Jason, if I remember, there was also a detail of the wind resistance.
Yes.
And stuff. I didn't know, since it's mounted against the building, is that a standard thing, or is that just some extra engineering that they added for our benefit?
We require that any sign over 100 square feet have engineering, and it has to be engineered to withstand at minimum 30 pounds per square foot of sign, or square inch, sorry, which comes out to 115 miles an hour. I believe the latest standard is 115 on the IBC code, but our code is a minimum 30, but we also hold them to that 2015 IBC, which is 115.
Okay.
So that they're just showing that their math matches that
Specification.
That specification, so it can handle certain amounts of wind gust.
Okay.
This is the subject site, site photos. You can see the self-storage from the previous tenant. The large one is still there. They'll remove that before they install. Here is some of the surrounding area that's facing east and west on Commerce. This is facing east and west on Canton. You've got the townhouses here and here. And then, of course, Deep Ellum starts as you go under the highway. Here's facing south on Canton. There is sort of a park over here, and there's also facing west on Good Latimer, which is, I guess, to the, let's see, it'd be on the
To
other,
the east of,
yes, it'd be on the east side, facing back toward the building. The building's here. This is a dog park that's back here. You can see it's pretty much blocked the entire building by the highway there. Here are some of the surrounding signs in the district. There actually aren't a lot of signs in this area. There's the Brian Long car there, which is just channel letters on a back plate, and it's mounted on the top of that wall. And then this dog park sign, which really isn't visible from outside. I was on the highway looking down, taking that photo, but I thought it was a neat sign. Again, there just aren't a lot of signs in this area, and staff recommends approval.
okay. Jason, can you go back to the side-by-side comparison where you had the old sign and the proposed new stuff? Okay, because when I came by this morning, see the self-storage sign under the bottom part of it? That's still up there. Is that going to stay? Because the style of lettering looks like it's going to be different. One is more simplistic, the other is serif.
What I understand is this smaller self-storage here is going to stay.
Okay, so they're going to mix the fonts and
Right,
stuff.
this website is to replace this self-storage. You will see on some of the others, they'll have the self-storage still there. However, this is the only self-storage, this little one here is the only
on that
one that's
back
to remain.
Facade, yeah,
Yes.
okay. I do have a question, because this sign has been hotly contested here at City Hall, and I've heard complaints from a lot of people about the existing size. So is it going to be the same size as the existing?
It is comparable, like in looking at those two images, like, let me go to the next.
Because right now, if you're coming down on that where 345 forks off from Central, that thing just looms and hits you really in the face as you're going southbound and getting ready to go either east or west on the
Right.
forks.
Here's the dimensions. The original, that logo is 13 foot 9 inches tall. And then looking at this new one, it's 13 feet. So it's a little smaller there. The overall length is 48 foot 8 on the new sign. On the older sign, it's 44 foot 6. The letters on the website, they show them at 4 foot, but they just show the height of the S. I think if you took the whole word itself, it would probably be pretty close to what the self-storage is, measured from the top of the Y to the bottom, or excuse me, the top of the L to the bottom of the Y, but I'd have to scale that out to see exactly what that is. I mean, visually it does look a little smaller, but it is comparable in size. The letters are obviously quite a bit smaller for the Simply Self-Storage than the Storage Choice is.
Yeah.
Well, the storage business is doing well. I think it rolls high,
It is just,
that mass in and out of this thing. We reviewed and approved Storage Choice, if y'all recall,
yep,
3-4 years ago.
2016.
2016.
This actually feels smaller to me.
You know, I think their scale is wrong because for the proposed, because if it's 48 foot,
Yeah, I agree with you, Todd.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel quite right.
Because I know, I'm just concerned because there's been so much complaint about this particular building from the City Planning Commission and from some of the council members about it seems disproportionate in size because it just hits you in the face when you're in that area. And then there's a vacant field. Is that part of the dog park? The chain link fence that is at Commerce Street, is that part of the dog park? Because I'm going, if that's open land and it's being developed, how would you feel if you're having to look at that sign from that perspective?
This here is open land.
And how is it, do we know how it's zoned currently? If it's for future development or what? Because I know some of the townhouses and stuff in that area have also sent complaints about some of the signage. Even though that's farmer's market and they've got a lot more latitude, there's been a lot of concern about signage.
It's zone PD 357.
Do you know what PD 357 is? I don't remember. Is it townhouse?
And it's sub-district 5.
Well, Mike, Jason, when considering the total square footage, so everything that's at north elevation is accumulative, right?
Yes.
Aggregate square
It's
footage.
cumulative for the entire site. It's cumulative.
Correct. So they're really not
The way
even,
it's worded is the facades that face the public right of way. So And it's for a whole building. So the way it's worded is you could use all the elevations and count up the allowable square footage and put all that on one side if you wanted to, I guess.
Yeah, and utilize 10% of that.
But I think if you just added up this facade, they would probably still come in under 25% of our regular sign ordinance.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So
Because refresh me, where you've got multiple facades, because you've got the step back, that all counts as one
One
facade.
facade,
Okay,
yeah.
so that's how they're getting the larger, because they put most of their signage on this front facade. Okay.
Yeah, it meets code.
Yeah, it meets code. It's just, having heard the complaints, I have been down here on the firing line and have had to listen to the complaints. This is one of the 3 most contested signs in the city of Dallas, or at least in the central business district. And I am concerned that if it goes on to city planning commission, does this have to go on to council, or is city planning commission the last stopping point? Because I don't want to go in and point fingers at the 3 signs that are most egregious that people have complained about. But this one I'm really concerned about, even though the pre-existing sign had, you said comparable square footage.
Almost, yeah. If not even a little bigger.
Because this almost started a revolution, because we then had everybody attacking the sizes of some of the signage in downtown Dallas. And Farmers Market had, I think, some of the more liberal latitude, didn't they, on signage?
This is really kind of a strange area, at least as far as the sign districts go. Let me get back to the zoning map. Across directly to the north in this downtown perimeter, it's basically business rules, is what that is. Across the highway in Deep Ellum, the rules are very similar. Before it was changed in 2018, the rules were actually identical to Farmers Market. If you look at the CA1 zoning and the Retail A over here in the downtown Special Provision Sign District, on the tops of buildings, they do allow some pretty large signs. They get 30% of that upper level facade, which depending on the height of the building can be anywhere from the width of the building to 36 feet of the top of the building, whatever 30% of that comes out to. To the south here is where it gets extremely conservative as far as sign regulations go. The Farmers Market Camden subdistrict, this is one of the more conservative subdistricts we have in the SPSDs. And then as you get down into here, the Market Center, it's probably one of the more liberal subdistricts there are. And all of those are part of Farmers Market. They're just different subdistricts.
Yeah.
I think to summarize the Camden, I think the largest sign they can have is maybe 50 square feet.
Yeah, because I know I had gotten complaints, and I had actually driven down to look at where you face from the ones that are on the, I didn't remember the name of it, but on the south, yeah, it was south, kind of southwest side. It's where this group of townhouse, I guess they're townhouses. And there had been some complaints from them about signage. Because that base is, let me think, that's Canton.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because I remember driving down, just literally circling that whole area to see what the concern was. Okay, it does meet the criteria. I have concerns about it because of the size of the signage. So if you guys have a motion, let's get our motion out on the table.
Just to clarify, every sign will meet code before it comes to this committee. Like, you will not review a sign that doesn't meet code in this committee.
Okay. And this does meet code. It's just when you're coming up on that freeway and then you see that sign, it just hits you in the face. Do we want to just go through these one sign at a time?
I believe we do have a speaker. I don't know if they're on the line or not. They did register Gary McLeany from the sign company. If you have any questions.
Is he on mic or not?
Yeah, he's on the attendee list. We took his.
Okay.
Well, I'll make a statement that obviously this has changed ownership, correct?
Yes.
You know, we've reviewed this before under previous ownership, under previous sign scope, and approved it, and they do comply. And I don't know that it's our position to alter that because of new ownership and the new request for new signage. Certainly down the road at CPC, if there are complaints, then maybe that's the duty of that board. I will motion to approve at this point, based on what we've seen, what was there, and staff's recommendation. God, did I sound serious there?
You did.
Who's that guy?
Okay, do we have a second?
I will second for pretty much the same reason that Murphy just stated. I think the sign's too big for the space, but we did approve a similar size sign before. So with that being said, I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, motion from Murphy and a second by Todd. And before we vote, point of order, do I have to reserve my comments until after we vote, or can I make my,
No.
now? Okay, I was going, it's been a long time since I had to do this.
After the motion is made, then you can,
Okay.
comments.
I'm going to say that I cannot support the motion for a simple reason that I've received too many complaints about the size of the signage, irrespective of the ownership. And goodness knows, it wouldn't be the first time that some of us have approved something and then realized once it gets mounted that it's disproportionate and it doesn't, even though it may meet the criteria that the city of Dallas has established, it still, to me, is inappropriate size for this particular building and the signage. So I cannot support the motion. And I just think it's a matter of appropriateness. And, you know, it was approved for the previous owner, and there are several signs that were approved that in retrospect have not been as, I'll call it, as appropriate or as tasteful as we would like. So I will put my foot down and say I can't support it, but that it's still a democracy, so we can have a vote. Did our attendee want to make some comments? Mike, I think you unmuted our speaker. Can you see if he's on the line, Jason? I can't see because I'm not logged into WebEx. Your report up.
Gary, right? There you
Yeah,
go.
I'm here.
Okay.
If you want to make some comments.
There's the speaker is unmuted.
Okay.
He must have his video on.
You need to have your video on to be an official spokesperson in the meeting, please. Thank you for reminding me of that, Donna.
Let's talk and see if they can hear you.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you, we just can't see you, Gary. We're just seeing a GM.
Okay, I'll start.
If you can start your video, that'd be great.
I clicked on it, it hadn't started yet. There it goes. Up.
No, we can
Here we
see.
go.
The video's on.
Okay, now you see me?
Yeah, we can see you now, Gary. Thank
If,
you.
if you'd state your name and your address.
My name's Gary McElmay at 6654 County Road 323 at Terrell, Texas, 75167 zip code.
Okay, we're ready to hear your comment and any statements you wish to make.
Pretty much, it's pretty much the same in comparable size to the other signage that's already there. But I do think
Okay.
it's, as long as it's in compliance, that I'm good with it.
Okay. Then I guess my round two of comments is, for the record, I would just like to see this sign reduced by about 25% if we could negotiate that. But that's not in the motion that's forward, so then I guess our next item is we'll go ahead and take a vote. So, we'll do roll call vote, so we have a recording of who's voting for the sign. Murphy, your vote?
I vote to approve.
To approve. Okay. Todd, your vote?
I vote to approve.
Okay, and the chair votes to deny. Okay, so it carries. Okay, next report.
All right, the next application is application number 220-314-0004. An application for a certificate of appropriateness by Gary McClemmy of Texas Sign Services for 774 square feet of illuminated attached signs on the southeast elevation. Again, the site address is 2425 Canton Street. It is in the Farmers Market Sign District. The zoning is PD number 357, Subdistrict 5A. This is the second of 4 applications for this site. These signs are to be located on the southeast elevation, are submitted as signs B and C. All are proposed to replace the previous tenant signs. All proposed signs for all applications of this site are identical in construction. Again, all applicable code has been met for the Farmers Market Sign District. All sign elements are constructed entirely of metal, plastic, and LED lighting. Each 5-inch deep channel letter is proposed to have a white plastic face that will backlight the same color using white LED. The smaller set of letters will have blue perforated vinyl over the white faces so that it will appear blue during the day and white at night. All returns and trim cap will be blue. All letters will be mounted on a metal 3-inch deep wireway painted to match the brick. The logos will have a white plastic face with yellow and blue translucent vinyl graphics that will illuminate the same yellow and blue colors at night using white LED, and the logos will mount flush against the facade. The overall projection of these signs will not exceed 8 inches. And here's the aerial. You can see these signs are going to face Canton. And the zoning. And the location map, you can see it's proposed as signs B and C. Here is the elevation view. Here is a detail showing the size of each word. And a comparison with the existing signs that have since been removed, but the previous signs. And the sign details. The LED layout and a night view. And the construction details. And the mounting. Here are the site photos. And again, facing west on Commerce and east on Commerce for the surrounding area, west on Canton and east on Canton. South on Canton and west on Good Latimer, located under 345. And signs in the district. Again, there aren't that many signs in this area. And staff recommends approval. I need to add that page back in there.
Okay. Any questions, discussion?
So I'm looking at Google's street map. And it looks like directly across the street from here, there is, apartment, three-story, yeah, three-story apartment building or condos or something to that effect,
Yeah.
as opposed to the one we just reviewed was facing the interstate.
Okay. Is there a concern with the direction that that signage is facing, Todd? I'm sorry, I
Well-
don't get the,
Yeah, I guess for me, the other one, I mean, I know it met code and we did approve the size previously and then just now. This one just seems rather large, especially since it's directly across the street from where people are going to be sleeping or trying to sleep with a large sign. So on this one, I would support it being smaller, just for the appropriateness of what it's facing.
okay. Murphy, do you have any comments or questions for Jason?
I live in that quagmire, you know, were I in the unit across the street, I wouldn't be appreciative. By code says it's allowable. We've certainly reviewed this before and entertained it and approved it. Quagmire, good word, good word.
Yeah,
I'm
Yes.
contemplating my thoughts here. Hopefully before my mouth opens. Yeah, I ride the fence. It's certainly a different circumstance here than facing the interstate. You know, being in the business, I have that dilemma of what code is, what we do, how we do it, how we perform in our own right, and the justification of it from all standpoints. Whenever I have gotten into these emotional dilemmas, if you will, which is probably more the case here, you know, I lean heavily on staff because they've seen it, they've done it, they certainly put more time into it than our brief discussion. And it's for that reason I have a hard time saying denial. I think the option certainly is an option certainly is to reduce the size to be a little bit more compatible to that particular street location. And a lot of it's just because of hindsight of our last approval, you know, when it was self-storage that, you know, sometimes you don't know what you have until it goes up. And then you realize that though code compliant, it is the reason that we're in the position that we're in as far as being on the board, you know, to make some of these decisions. This particular side, I would see it. I could see it. I could be in agreement with Todd on that a reduction of size would be warranted.
okay. Is there any further discussion? In that case, I'd like to put forward a motion, and that is that I move for approval of the sign with the consideration that we request a 25% reduction in size, given the surroundings and the appropriateness for that development area. Is there a second?
I would second a 25% reduction.
Okay, Todd, seconds. Okay, let's do our roll call vote again. Murphy, your vote?
I'll approve the, suggestion,
Okay,
consideration.
so that's a vote for aye for the motion.
25.
Todd, your vote,
As I,
and the chair votes aye. So that one will be approved with a 25% reduction so that the neighborhood is not further impacted from what they've already been. It's a chance to rectify the situation for the neighborhood. Okay, Jason, moving on to the next one.
All right, the next application is application number 220-314-0005. It's an application for a certificate of appropriateness by Gary McClemmy of Texas Sign Services for 421 square feet of illuminated attached signs on the northeast elevation. Again, the address is 2425 Canton Street in the Farmers Market Sign District, zoned PD number 357, subdistrict 5A. This is the third of 4 applications for this site. These signs are to be located on the northeast elevation, and are submitted as signs G and H. All are proposed to replace the previous tenant signs. All proposed signs for all applications at this site are of identical construction. All applicable code has been met for the Farmers Market Sign District. All sign elements are constructed entirely of metal, plastic, and LED lighting. Each of the 5-inch deep channel letters is proposed to have a white plastic face and will backlight the same color using white LED. The smaller set of letters will have a blue perforated vinyl over the white faces so they will appear blue during the day and white at night. All returns and trim cap will be blue. All letters will be mounted on a metal 3-inch deep wireway painted to match the brick. The logo will have a white plastic face with yellow and blue translucent vinyl graphics that will illuminate the same yellow and blue colors at night while using white LED, and the logo will flush mount against the facade. The overall projection of the signs will not exceed 8 inches. Again, here's the aerial. This will face the expressway and the zoning. Here's the location map, signs G and H. Here is an elevation view. And the size of each word. Here's a comparison as far as what was there previously and what is proposed. And the details.
Jason, go back just a second because I couldn't read the sign. Okay, so it's 5 foot high. How long? 55 feet?
55 foot, 11 and a half, so almost 56 feet.
Okay, thank
The
you.
previous, let's see if we have that information here.
I don't remember seeing it in the report, but maybe I just have slept since then.
I'm not sure I have the previous height of the other sign. I can get that if you need it.
No, that's okay.
All right, here's the LED layout as well as the night view. And the details, all of these signs are the same. And the engineering. Here is the site photos. You can see that self-storage is still there, but that will be removed.
Jason, had they removed the top part where they had the logo and everything before on that white column? Or what-
Here?
the building? Yeah, had they
Yes,
already removed that?
I took these photos.
Okay, because I noticed when I drove by this morning checking it out that,
Yes, this is the only sign that's up there now.
okay, because I didn't think that other part was still up there. Okay.
Right. Again, facing west on Commerce and east on Commerce. These photos are the same from the previous presentation. West on Canton and east on Canton. South on Canton, facing west on Good Latimer. And again, similar signs in the district. And staff recommends approval.
Okay, discussion team?
Jason, the previous side of those other letters were 6'1".
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, Jason,
Murphy?
go
They're
back.
like a foot shorter than the new ones are a foot shorter than the old ones.
In height, Gary?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Murphy or Todd, I thought I heard one of you start to say something.
Oh, I was going to go back. If you wouldn't mind, Jason, go back to the comparison side by side,
Okay,
please, sir.
just a second. I may have to disconnect and reconnect. It says it's having problems connecting, so let me get this reconnecting.
Don't you love technology?
Okay, there we go. This page,
Was that the one or was the?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it. That's it. That's it. Due to the fact that this is interstate highway based signage and complies similarly to what was before, I vote to approve this.
And I'll second that motion.
Okay, so Mike,
What we're
yours
not
was,
seeing, one of the things we're not seeing here that on the Google Drive is there's a giant billboard blocking the self-storage if you're on Canton Street.
oh, I had forgotten that.
I don't know if you can
I don't know.
see
let's
that.
see if I can pull it here.
On the
Oh.
other side.
I remember that now.
You can barely see it there.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can.
there you can see it
It
there
really-
on the bottom
really
right.
Only place you can see this sign clearly is from the interstate.
Mm-hmm.
And I think some of those photos, I was trying to show the view from the park.
Yeah, the dog park area.
Yeah, you can, and I've got more photos I can put in, but I took a bunch of photos.
Okay,
But yeah, it's blocked from those parks.
okay. Is there any other discussion then? Because we have a motion on the table, so.
I'll stand
No
with that.
further discussion? Okay, so Mike made the motion to approve as stated, seconded by Todd. And Murphy, your vote, please, sir?
I vote to approve. As
To
it.
approve, Todd?
I vote to approve.
And the chair will vote to approve.
Okay, the next application is application number 220-314-0006, an application for a certificate of appropriateness by Gary McClemmy of Texas Sign Services for 179 square feet of illuminated attached sign on the southwest elevation. Again, the address is 2425 Canton Street in the Farmers Market Sign District, Zone PD 357. Subdistrict 5A, this is the fourth of 4 applications for this site. This sign is to be located on the southwest elevation and is submitted as sign I. This sign is proposed to replace the previous tenant's sign. All proposed signs for all applications at this site are of identical construction. All applicable code for the Farmers Market Sign District has been met. All sign elements are constructed entirely of metal, plastic, and LED lighting. Each 5-inch deep channel letter is proposed to have a white plastic face that will backlight the same color using white LED. All returns and trim cap will be blue. All letters will be mounted on a metal 3-inch deep wireway painted to match the brick, and the overall projection of the sign will not exceed 8 inches. Here's the aerial map. You can see this faces to the southwest. And the zoning. Here's a location map. Again, this is sign I. And an elevation detail. Here are some photos. I couldn't get a good side-by-side angle on that, but you can see a comparison there, kind of where the capstone lines up here versus here.
Jason, do we know how tall the building is? Did it show on the, I can't, my eyes are, I guess I need to have my glasses changed.
It's 75 feet tall.
75 feet tall. Okay.
All right, and here are the details. This has the comparison as far as sizes existing versus the new. The height is roughly the same. However, this set stretches out quite a bit further than the other due to the letter style. And the LED layout and a night view. And the sign detail. The engineering. Here are the site photos. And again, the surrounding area, west and east on Commerce, west and east on Canton. This sign would be facing these townhouse apartments over here. And south on Canton and west on Good Latimer. And surrounding signs in this district. And staff recommends approval.
Okay, discussion, guys?
I think it's appropriate for replacement signage. I'll motion to approve.
Hang on a minute, Murphy. Okay, you can go ahead and move to approve. Is there a second? Todd, did you want to second the motion or not? I'm sorry, say again?
I'm still thinking, hang on.
Okay,
So this is roughly 50 square feet larger than the previous sign.
yeah,
I'm looking at the street view. I'll second that motion to approve.
okay. In that case, I have a comment. I guess it's the lettering style, looking so much larger. Esoterically, to me, that just is overpowering. That's why I asked how tall the building was relative to the size, even though the lettering is about the same height, because one is more block type lettering than the other. It just really hits me hard, and I can't support the motion. I guess it's just esoterically, I find it, to borrow the phrase, inappropriate for the area. So,
Jason, can you show
sir.
the street view where it shows the signs that are on the south facing? Kind of not that one.
Well, that's the closest I think Jason could get. If you look at is this the one you wanted, Todd? Because I don't, that's where you couldn't get a side-by-side view. You had to kind of look at the end. Yeah.
Did you take one on Canton looking east from Canton?
That's east on Canton there, so that would be facing the same direction the sign is there on the right. So the building is here, That sign would be mounted somewhere in here.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to share my other computer screen. I don't know if you're going to be able to see.
Mike, Todd, did you want to try to share your screen? Oh, you just turned it
It's on a different computer.
Okay,
But whereas the self-storage, even though it's going to be a little larger, it's still considerably smaller than the storage choice or the new sign that we just approved, even at 25% reduction. So that was initially, I was like, it is a larger square foot because of the font. And I was having a little heartburn over that. But when I looked at scale of it next to the one that we previously approved, that was kind of what swayed me to second the motion.
okay. So any further discussion? Gary, did you have any comment you wanted to make?
No, ma'am, it's just like what they did, they used the uppercase letter style on that instead of the upper lower case, so it made it, go out a lot further long in length.
Okay. If there's no further discussion, then we'll have a roll call vote. Murphy?
I'll motion to approve.
Todd?
Approved.
Who was the second?
Todd was the second. And he votes to approve. And the chair votes nay. So it does pass.
Okay, the final application is.
Gary, thank you. I think we're going to a different sign, so I think we've covered all yours if you have other things you need to be doing.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Y'all have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You too.
Well,
The final application is application number 220-314-0003. It's an application for a certificate of appropriateness by Jim DeChico of signbuildersdfw.com for a 17 square foot illuminated attached sign on the north elevation. The site address is 1412 Main Street. This is located in the downtown sign district within the Retail A subdistrict. The zoning is PD 619, subdistrict C. The proposed sign is considered a canopy sign. It is the only sign proposed on this facade. Both the canopy and the sign are included in a franchise agreement to overhang the right-of-way, which is why it is before this committee here. All applicable code for the downtown sign district has been met. The sign is constructed entirely of metal, plastic, and LED lighting. It consists of channel letters mounted on a wireway and non-illuminated acrylic letters. The channel letters are backlit with white LED lighting, and the faces of the letters are white acrylic. The trim cap and returns of the letters are black, and the sign will not project more than 12 inches above the surface of the canopy. Here is an aerial map. You can see this sign will face Main Street. And the zoning map, it's completely surrounded by Retail A on the sign part, or the sign district. Here is a location map provided by the applicant. I'm not sure what that arrow was for, but
Maybe it was pointing over toward the AT&T thing, entertainment district or something. Can't tell.
I'll see if I can have them pull that out.
Yeah.
Again, another location map. And this is from the franchise agreement. It shows the awning there. The property line would be right along the edge of the building. Here is an elevation view and a photo rendering. This is a side view showing the distance from the curb as well as the height of the sign. And here are the details. You can see the size of the sign there. And here's the site photos. The awning is not in place yet. And this is facing north on Ackard and south on Ackard. You can see the media wall that Chair Peden mentioned earlier. And this is facing east and west on Main. Here are some other canopy signs in the district. These are all on Main Street. Let's see if I can zoom in here. The Dragstone there, I believe, went through the committee last year. And staff recommends approval.
Jason, on this one, where the 1407 lofts list, is part of the lettering above the edge of the canopy? In other words, it sticks up above a little bit?
It does go a little bit above.
Because I think that's what the Adolphus sign was looking like. It looked like the Adolphus was above the canopy, and then the canopy had tower on it.
Yes.
Okay.
It's kicked me off sharing again.
It just doesn't love you today. Okay. Because I know you guys have examined all the wind resistance and all the other stuff when they put the canopy up and when they're putting the lettering up.
Yes, there's the letters there, and there's not really going to be a whole lot of wind resistance because it's just letters.
Yeah. Well, you know me, I live in downtown Dallas part of it. I don't really live down there, but I walk a lot, and you get that wind tunnel effect down through the areas, and that's why I asked, because the canopy would be more of a concern than the Adolphus. But that's why I just asked my dumb question. Okay. Anybody else have questions on this one? You guys are so quiet today. Come on.
I like it. It looks nice.
I think it looks classical.
I do too.
It's just a nice clean look. You want me to say something nice about the sign? How did you do that? No. Okay.
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
Something nice.
Did we have a speaker registered?
We did. I did get an email that she was on the phone, so she is listening in. But I don't think you can actually participate in the meeting when you've called in from the phone.
Well, that's okay. If you did participate, anything you said would have to be off the record because you're not, legally, you're not there unless you're videoing. So, okay, any questions, concerns? It sounds like this one is going to be an easy move. Do we have a motion on the floor?
I'll motion to approve. This is Todd.
Todd, motion to approve.
I'll second that.
I'll second. Okay, Murphy can have the credit for seconding. Okay. Any further discussion? If no further discussion, then we can take a simple vote. Murphy, your vote?
I vote yay.
Yay. Todd?
Yay, approved.
Yay, and the chair votes yes. So that one is approved. And we can now quit recording. It is, wait a minute, we have minutes to approve. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay. Any additions or corrections to the minutes?
I did not.
No additions or corrections, Todd, none from you. In that case, the minutes stand approved as stated. And it is now 10:39. We have a dismissal since we concluded all of our business, and we will get back together for the ADSAC committee meeting at 11 o'clock. Wasn't that right, Jason?
That is correct.
Okay, at 11 o'clock, we'll be recording again. Mike, you can see it's recording.
It is a different link, so use the new link.
Yeah, we will have to use the new link.
Okay.
And I